I love technology, especially when it's placed in the right hands. This Note 9 is truly something special, how far things have come. And there's not really any particular reason why I'm saying this at the beginning of this video. Other than, well, they're going to make this an art talk, and I want to talk about a bird on a wire. I guess I could put two and two together because it's something of a personal story. The reason why I did that, bird on the wire. That was weird. Anyways, the reason why I did bird on the wire, and it was previously a red cap mannequin, but I'll be honest to you, that a lot of the art that I've made has been for pussy. It really has. It'll be as lewd as possible and be as vulgar as possible. It's always been, a lot of it's not just for me, it's been for women. Because in my opinion, if it doesn't evoke some sort of arousal at some point, then it's not really worth it, and so because, well, this is what I'm going to leave behind. I want it to be amazing. I want people to feel something. I want you to, when you look at my art, I want you to understand the suffering and the sacrifice that it's taken to learn how to paint the way that I do. And, that being part of the methodology and the process or whatever, because, I'm an art school dropout. I learned principles of art in high school, right? In art class, 2 or 3 years, whatever it was, with female art teachers. Okay. So, I can't, trying to remember their names right now, but it's missing right now. But that, nonetheless, I'm gonna take this off the wall now. See, just a classical canvas, and I did this in 2011, something like that. Maybe no, actually it was a lot sooner than that. I can't remember exactly when, but it's displayed. Right? This is the first bird or animal that I ever painted. So you see all the textures and everything, and this painting is 15 years old, somewhere around there, maybe 10 to 15 years old. Okay, so there's a lot of texture. Okay, and I'm very proud of this painting, and I painted it for a woman who's now a lawyer in Nunavut, and it's still hers. We met Trent, and she had a boyfriend at the time, whom I shared a house with in downtown Peterborough, with another fella who's the one guy's he was on the rowing team, and then the other fella was studying chemistry. Yep. And then we had a fourth person show up occasionally, and he was studying physics. And so I remember all their names, but I'm gonna exclude them from this video. Those who know, they know. And I did some shitty paintings and some decent ones, like with whitewash crescents, and whitewash way and culture crescent. That's actually an intersection here in London, believe it or not, with the family, the 4-person family, the Saab in the driveway, which was it was influenced by the fact that one of my housemates really liked Saabs. He was a bit of a gearhead from PEI, and the two of them met through Katimovic, a youth leadership program. And I hung out with her and her friends quite frequently. This is how I know some of the other women that I know from Trent. That they met because of what was Champlain College. They stayed in res together, and I was in LEC, just over the bridge there on the not on the West Bank, whatever. Nonetheless, when I was in the middle of my university education, and I was thinking about, what am I going to do with my life? What do I really want to do? And I had this fascination, again, with art in general and oil painting, because, well, this is art. Oil painting is my best medium. It's this and drawing, because I started drawing with graphites when I was a kid, naturally, with an HB pencil. I wouldn't consider myself a savant by any means. There's some very embarrassing drawings on DeviantArt. I just never gave up. And this one here, Bird on a Wire, was one of the very best. Is one of the very best of my early paintings. It really is. And I haven't always valued it, because you get desensitized by your own work. You really do. Again, I'm staring at God Hand that's above me right here, and Field, British Columbia in pencils, and Leghorn and Peerless, and this James Webb painting that's in the process of me completing it right now. And my anxieties with the art has always been, if I let it go, I might not ever see it again, because I don't have any children, and for the longest time, I didn't want children in my 20s. I wanted to be a military man. That was it, I wanted to be a pilot, or some sort of upstanding person that I could look up to. And I have my doubts about that even now, if I'm actually achieving that. And the other part is that, you get to a certain point of talent, and, there's some really fucked up people out there in the world, and they'll buy up your artwork and destroy it just to make the other pieces more valuable. And this is the truth, right? So, not that she would ever do that, but... I had a close friendship with her. I will say I miss her. I do, but I was too scared at the time to pack up all my stuff, and I didn't have the resources either to go to Nunavut, right? And have some sort of life up there as an aircraft mechanic. Yeah. Okay, so that would have been, if that's true, this is 2011. Because, well, she wanted to go back to her community, and I don't blame her. I really don't. And again, I miss her. If she ever watches this, I miss talking to her. Great memories in Peterborough, and the other friends that, well, we don't really talk too much anymore, because, well, people go different paths, and you don't always get along with each other. And frankly, I was a horny bastard. I really was. So I might have been a bit more aggressive than. Well, actually, no. This is part of my character, is to be a bit aggressive and abrasive, because as an artist, I'm outspoken, and I want to be outspoken. I want I want to say something, right? I don't want to just say anything. I want to communicate something beautiful about life in general. Um, with these works, and there's these, they have an element of iconography too, right? And personal meaning and depth, which gives these pieces authenticity that I don't see in other people's work, especially commercial art, or people that are, they get into one style. Not to insult any of you that do this, you get into one particular style of painting, and then you're reproducing basically the same, variations of the same image for the rest of your life. And well, people, that's what people love of you, sure. And you have this branding and this, this sellable art. But I don't make art to be sold, as I've said, right? I take commissions. I'll sell them occasionally. I'll give them to friends and family out of love, right? Art for art's sake. That's the truth of the matter, is that I'm not making art to sell it, really. And that's very hard, because there's just some things in life that are worth more than money. And the relationships I've had, especially saying this as a more isolated individual now, not later in life, but close to a few years away from 40, that it takes a lot more effort when you get older, as a point of truth by someone I used to know, someone I used to be closer friends with, but I'm not anymore. That he said that the older you get, the harder it is to make friends. And again, there is some truth to that, because of the mental apprehensions and the guards that we put up, and the walls that we put up from previous traumas and betrayals and deflations and letdowns, these things that happen in relationships, disappointments. And would I go up to Calwood now to deliver this? Yeah, I would, if I have the opportunity to see her. I would love to know how she is. It's not easy to live up there, but if I've been to Greenland, so I understand what it's. I went to 63 degrees north in Kulisuk, so I have a rough understanding of what it's like to live up there in extreme environments. And I don't love you any less. I have my regrets for not, when I'm attaching them to this painting, because it's a kestrel, right? A kestrel is a small raptor, and that's how I think of her, because she's got teeth, right? You have to respect that woman, as playful as she is, right? And we should all respect each other in that way. And I respected her enough and loved her enough to spend, I don't know, maybe a month or two on this. And birds, I love birds. I love aviation, because I've always wanted to fly away from all the things and all the people that tortured me. That if you want to get into a psychological profile here. Yeah. So what more can I say about Bird on the Wire? Right? You see the edges are painted a purple and a yellow. So again, this is another piece of my technique in which I try to change the light around the border of the image, so that, like neon glow or whatever, it changes the shadow and the luminosity. So the lux, as my electrician friend says, so the frequency and the wave there, the diffusion. And these are all important things to understand and know, especially as an oil painter, because of the refraction and the opacity being an oil painter is not like being an acrylic painter. There's a lot more science involved, and I'll shout out Felix Baumgartner Restorations at this point, because he himself is very much a scientist and within the process and of restoration, and I very much appreciate that. And again, this painting is over 10 years old, and so I know that my work is going to last a very long time, a very, very long time, hundreds of years. And that's part of the sacrifice, is the fact that I wanted to leave something behind that was beautiful, even if I don't get the chance to have children, which it kind of tortures me now, because could I have had children with this woman? Probably. Could it happen now? There's a possibility. I'm not gonna call her out of the cards of the women I used to know, or the ex-girlfriends, but this is a bit of we shared a lot of the same interests, and a lot of the same passions, and she helped me a lot with getting my wardrobe together, looking more like an adult instead of a teenager at the time, and spending some of my OSAP money, which was I have a lot of these the pieces of clothing still, so I admired her, and the feeling was mutual. That's why we hung out, we got drunk together, all these things, right? This is why university and college experience is so wonderful. You need to, these Zoom meetings and the technology is no replacement for in-person relationships, face-to-face conversations, and just young love. You can love someone and not be in a relationship with them, from afar. There's been a lot of women in my life, let's be honest, if I'm going to talk about this more, that I've had crushes on, or that I had deep feelings for, but I didn't express them because I didn't want to spoil things, or you don't shit where you eat, so to speak, right? The drama or the fallout wouldn't be worth it, and that's that. This is her painting, and again, I was very afraid of letting it go, just out of anxiety. Because again, some people in your life are very important, and then you just never see them again. And that fucking sucks.